Good, Sean.
Hey there. Hey, guys, before we get started, are we there?
Yep.
Hello, hello.
Yep, we're there.
Are you guys keeping track of the Summerland Little League team? We showed the highlights of the play-into game the other day, and the guys went crazy for them. And I know that they're playing this afternoon, so just wishing them the best. That's pretty exciting. We'll show those highlights tomorrow when players come in. Have a big World Championship win.
So Pete, I know obviously last night you spoke about you guys are going to be without Aiden O'Connell for a while. In response to that, are you exploring potentially adding help in the quarterback room moving forward?
Of course. Yeah, he's gonna be out for a couple, 8 weeks or something like that. So we got to work at it.
Hey Pete, just looking at these three preseason games, how you evaluate Darian Porter, and where's your confidence level in him getting ready for the regular season?
He's done a good job. He learned a lot of football. We've challenged him in a lot of ways, and I was disappointed that he didn't make a play on the touchdown pass because it was a play in zone that we could have made. So it shows a little bit of inexperience there, but he's done a nice job. He's been working really hard. He's helped us in special teams as well. So he's certainly vying for playing time. He's played a lot this preseason, by design.
Hi, Coach. I'm wondering just your thoughts on Greedy Vance yesterday. He had some plays. I'm wondering if you see any development and improvement from him.
Yeah, he's a playmaker. We went back. I went back, probably last week, to look at his college tapes again, just to see if I'm seeing the same stuff that here as we saw in college. And he's very aggressive, very instinctive player, and he takes his shots, and so he's done that throughout the time in practice. He's made a ton of big plays, and he's a really good competitor. So we've really liked what he's shown.
Hi, Coach. Just looking just across all of the preseason matchups that you guys have had, and as you kind of sum up and wrap up the preseason, what's one overall positive, and then what's one thing that you really think needs to be improved upon prior to that game one?
Well, in the overall sense, they've worked really hard at playing hard, and we've committed to giving great effort every time we go out, and that throughout the ranks of players is shown. So the message of from the leadership of this club is really getting through. So that's the biggest positive. But next, I've really been, like I think I said last night, really liked the way our ones have played. They've really done what they went out there to do. They scored touchdowns. They've taken the ball off our opponents. They've stopped them handily, and we've looked on fire when we're playing. And that's to me is something that's really, really good. And so a lot of the guys that have been playing these games won't play, and so and the starters that on both sides of the ball, they haven't played a lot, but yet they have been able to get out there, get prepared for the games, and show that they're ready to go. And so that I feel really good about that. I think we're going to be able to match up, and I'm excited about wherever we're going, whoever we're playing, that our guys are going to be able to match up.
Coach, you mentioned last night that, we'll see when it comes to Cam Miller if he's ready to be the number 2. What do you need to see from Cam moving forward, especially with Aiden being down for some time?
A couple of years of playing, he's just a raw kid trying to do it, and he's made some good plays, and he's tough and shows a knack for playing the spot, but he just needs a ton of plays, and so we'd like to buy some more time with him as much as we could.
Pete, I don't think we saw Caillou Blue Kelly play last night. Was that kind of a result of his hamstring injury? And then just kind of with him, big picture, I know he's a guy that, he's played a lot outside as of late, but he's also played inside for you guys as well. Like, where do you kind of view him kind of moving forward in terms of his role?
Yeah, it was really, really unfortunate that he just has a sore hamstring. He's got an old injury that he had surgery on years ago, and so it was a little sensitive. So we just took care of him, made sure that we didn't. With 2 weeks coming up to get him ready for for the opener and what he could contribute there, we took care of him. I think I've been saying about him. He's really shown up to be active and aggressive and playing the style of play that we want. And he's been productive on the practice field. Again, the Niner week, he had a good week, And it's just unfortunate that they started last week, so we gave him a chance to show, how he fits in. So he's done a lot of positive things, and we just needed to make sure that we didn't, delay this return. So we held him out, but he's battling, and so he's done really well, and he's done a nice job on special teams also.
Pete, I'm just curious what your kind of criteria would be for that backup quarterback role in the time that Aiden's not going to be, in there. And is there a possibility that maybe there's somebody that's not on a team right now that could sort of rise up to that possibility?
All possibilities are available right now. I mean, wherever they come from, and we're looking everywhere to see if we can find the best guy that fits us. So, I mean, if you don't mind, I'm not going to really lay out exactly what we're looking for here. So I don't want to show our hand, but once somebody's played, that's what's important. Guys, this head game experience is really huge to me. We have Cam, and Cam, hasn't played in the league much, so we're looking for an experienced player that could help us.
Coach, can you just kind of walk us through your process for the next 48 hours, what this is like? And then was your job made more difficult or less difficult, I guess, by the performances last night of guys seizing opportunities or not seizing opportunities?
Well, we're finishing up the film, making sure that we've seen everything that we can evaluate on the guys that are here as we make our decisions here. That's the first thing. And then the process comes for all of the coaches to lend their opinions and help us, see what they see as we're seeing who's going to stay, who's not going to stay. Johnny and I have a lot of work to do to make sure that we have it ironed out. We've done a lot of work prior to this game to be prepared, things that we really wanted to see in this last game, and to make declarations and make sure that we had enough information to make good decisions. So then it's just the process of going through it, and it's really just working through the depth chart and the roster and coming up with the right numbers. And until you get all the way down to the very end of it, that's where you have to decide whether you're going to take this guy or that guy, and this guy fits us in this way, and this guy fits us in that way, and just try to weigh that out really, really well. And we'll do a good job of that. We have plenty of experience to do that well, and we have coaches that have been through it too. So with Johnny's guys upstairs and the coaches, we'll figure this out.
Hey, Coach, this is completely off football topic, but because you mentioned the Summerland South team going to the Little League World Series Championship, wondering if you knew Adam Johnson had a team in the tournament last year, and if you've been able to talk to him about his thoughts on this year's team.
No, I haven't. I no, wasn't aware of that, but we're following them. I love following the league, and it's in the back of all of our minds back in the day, So there's nothing sweeter than seeing these young guys get out there and play in such a big setting. I mean, it's too big for 12-year-olds, but somehow they make it look normal, and I really treasure those times back in the day, and love watching these kids do it. So we'll be right there with them.
Coach, you've been clear that you want to add competition at every level of the field, in all phases. But when you are about to make these decisions, what are some position groups that you can look at and identify, and as really some of the deeper rooms that you have on your team?
Well, I think the tight end position jumps out. I really like that spot. Our running back spot is deep with guys that have played well for us. Um, Linebacker spot is shown. We have a variety of guys and styles of players that we can do different things with. Um, the safety position has felt like that as well, and Jamal being able to play in a safeties position, but from the linebacker meeting room is a special characteristic that we have. Um, I think our corners have played very consistently, and technique-wise and scheme-wise, what we're asking them to do. We had a little jump against the Niners in that week in terms of our run support and containment and all of that. We were a little sloppy in the practice and really cleaned it up by the game. I think that's a big jump for us. I think we can count on we could rotate guys there and be comfortable. So those are the spots that kind of jump out.
Coach, we've seen the last couple seasons Patrick Graham in the booth. We see him now on the sideline, calling the defense. Do you have a preference as a head coach? Is it a feel for the DC? Is it anything that you have, any input that you have when it comes to where he's calling the game from?
Yeah, I have a little bit of input. Um, yeah, I mean, I have talked to Patrick through this. We talked through the offseason and wanted to try both. I really like him on the field. I like him down there. He has real command, and He has a real presence in the defensive room with all the position groups, and I think he lends to being able to connect the dots for the proper verbiage and terminology in moments notice when you really got to be clear and succinct. I think he's best when he can really look these guys in the eye and help them on the sideline. So he'll stay there.
We'll do last question for Vinny.
Pete, you got a chance to see both of your right guards that are in contention for that job yesterday. What was your evaluation of that? And could you see that this goes into the regular season before you kind of make a final decision?
Well, it was great to get Alex back on the field. It's been a while, from being out with the ribs and all that, and he got to play some good snaps and did a nice job. I think at this time, JPJ is taking so much more time with the ones that he leads us into the opener, and but we're really thrilled to have Alex who can play and back us up and give us terrific leadership and communications and all of that. Regardless of his injury, that's not going to have anything to do with that. So I feel fortunate that we have him, but at this point, JPJ is a little bit ahead, and Alex is going to keep battling. Yeah, the competition always is on, and so we don't need to settle anything forever. We're settling to get to the first game, and that's where we are now.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, guys, see ya.
You